The following is a production of Medfield TV.
Hi, I'm Rich Small, and here with the Medfield Warriors girls basketball team, and we're going to typically I do a preseason show, but since the season's already started, I'll just call it an early season show.
Yeah.
All right, we're here with Captain Maggie McCarthy, Captain Emma Anderson, and Coach Mark Nickerson, and Erin Siebel's another coach. I coach, captain, that is sick. So shout out to Erin, and maybe we'll say a few words about her.
Yeah.
But let's start off, just have some questions. Let's just have a relaxing time here. So the season has started. So let me start with the coach first. So far, 2-0. I guess that's a great start. So. Yeah. What do you think so far this year?
Yeah, I mean, actually looking at the beginning of our schedule, seeing Westwood and Holliston on it, two good schools, traditionally pretty good, especially Westwood, and quite honestly, not necessarily knowing what we had because we lost 4 starters last year and a pretty young team. I was pretty nervous about how the season was going to start off, and we really couldn't ask for a better start. We haven't played. We talked about it the other day after the game. We haven't played a full, consistent game yet, but. We've handled 2 pretty good opponents and, played pretty well for the most part. Okay.
So while we're on the schedule, why don't you give us a flavor of just what's the team comprised of, who's starting, what's your bench strength? Because I know you have had a few new players this year. And
yeah, so, we were returning essentially 11 players from last year's team, and we graduated 4 starters. So it's almost a brand new starting lineup. But we have 2 seniors, Maggie and Emma, who are 2 of our starters and 2 of our better players, and have been a big part of the program for the last 4 years now. They've both played in 2 state championship games and won 1, and we're hoping to get 1 more this year. Erin Siebel, who's a junior captain, who's another one of our starting guards, and then right now we're starting 2 sophomores, Ari Tristani, who played with us last year, and Sienna Kinney, who's new to town and a good addition to the team. Good sized player with a lot of skill who's really helped us fill the hole. Good. So, and then we have some outstanding players coming off the bench, and we're a pretty young team, really. We have our 2 seniors and 4 juniors, but then a bunch of sophomores and a freshman on the team. So our roster's of 14 players, and my hope for the team in general is that we're just going to continue to grow and develop. I'm happy with the start that we've got on to, but we have a lot of growing that we need to do in order to be where we want to be at the end of the season.
That's great. Okay, one more question for you, then we'll get to the captains. So all that looks great, promising. You're obviously one of the highly rated Division II teams this year, and probably just any team in all of Eastern Mass. So 2 titles last 5 years. You lost another one in the finals by a couple of points or something like that, and then you went deep into the tournament even the other 2 years. So how do you get the team up? What do you say to the team coming in, as far as that's a lot of success and a lot more than a lot of teams will experience, but how do you keep it going every year?
I mean, truthfully, our league's pretty competitive at the top, especially. I mean, there's good teams, Westwood, Hawkington, that are going to challenge us every year. Medway, Millis is always tough. We need to compete with. We want to win the league every year. So it's not like we look at any game and just say, we got to play this game. We want to compete. We want to play well. And our girls are really driven to represent Medfield and represent our basketball program the best they possibly can every time we play. And I truly think they love to play, and that makes a big difference. And I don't think they look at any, because like you said, when you've had the success that we've had, sometimes you can look at a regular season game as like a little bit of drudgery, but I don't think there's any of that, at least as far as I can see, especially in the way the girls prepare and play for games. And we have high expectations of ourselves, and that's a great thing, and they want to work hard to meet their goals both individually and as a team.
Absolutely, and makes it more enjoyable from a coaching standpoint.
Makes it a lot easier.
That's for sure. That's sure. All right, Emma, let's start with you. So, first year captain.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little about how you got involved with basketball, just sports you play,
Totally.
just a little of your experience.
Yeah, I've grown up playing basketball ever since kindergarten, 1st grade, and I've loved it. it's been awesome being a part of this program, and so running for captain was a no-brainer. Like I knew I was going to run for captain. I play other sports in Medfield: volleyball, basketball, and tennis. And I'm very excited to be a captain this year. I think it's going really well. I mean, I got Maggie, who's an experienced captain. I also have Erin, who's just a year younger than me. And so far, we're already making strides to kind of not just bring the team together, but I think work with the whole program and bring it together. So it's been good.
So what's amazing for Medfield, and this goes back years and years and years, of how involved all the students are with the sports programs. So everybody plays 3 sports. Everybody plays 3 sports at a very high level. It's just amazing. I have, a lot of my family members and people from out of town come to me and say, "How do you guys do it all the time?" But it is amazing, and I think it's a testament to you guys and just how involved you are and your love for sports, as well as our youth programs. I think obviously deserve a lot of credit. Start playing basketball and kindergarten, still have a love for it. 11, 12 years later, that speaks highly of the whole process.
Totally.
So Maggie, second year captain coming in. So I heard you're going to Harvard, which I can't relate to that, and that's unbelievable. So that's quite an achievement. So tell me about you, just kind of your interest in basketball, and are you going to play in college?
So yes, I'm going to play in college. It's probably the reason one of the big reasons I got into Harvard. But like Emma said, I started playing when I was in kindergarten or first grade, and my whole family has always played basketball. My grandfather, my parents, my uncles, and all my siblings.
So you had to play.
So I was forced to play. But and I also play lacrosse and soccer. So I'm just so I'm a sport, like an athlete, like Emma said.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I'm sure you got into Harvard for more than your basketball skills. I'm sure of that. They just don't take anybody. That's good. How about you, Erin? Where college thoughts? Or
Sorry, what was the question?
college thoughts? Or?
I looked at some schools to maybe play basketball there, but I think I'm just gonna apply regularly.
Good for you.
So, yeah.
There's a double edge to going to play a sport.
I definitely
versus
could
just
see myself playing like a club sport or something, but yeah.
Excellent. All right, so let's go in. So being a captain. So, okay, I'll go back to you, Maggie. So you're state champions, new team, you got a lot of young kids. How do you prepare for the year and just to get the players, because they're all looking at you, and they're all looking at Erin as you're their leaders. So how do you handle that?
Well, I think one of our challenges this year is that we do have a young team, like Coach Nickerson said. But I think they all know the success that the program has had, and they all strive to be as successful as we have been in past years. I think Emma and I are working, and Coach Nickerson and Erin are working on keeping the intensity up in practice and showing how that translates into our games, and that's how we've been so successful in the past.
So do you point up at all the banners and say, "That was me, and now I want another one," or do you motivate them that way? Or
well, I think just having all the banners in the high school gym is motivation enough. Yeah, they're lining the walls, but so I think everyone just wants to be part of something special, and I think we're all looking forward to hopefully some success this year. Or we've already had some.
So let me ask you, Emma. So what has been a little unexpected of being captain?
I mean, I think going in, there's a lot of the responsibilities that you wouldn't have taken on without being captain. I find myself definitely in more leadership roles, kind of encouraging people on the side, whereas before, it was always in the team kind of huddle that we would do it. But now if I see someone struggling, I have more of a need to pull over and say, "Oh, here's what you can improve on," or just anything outside, on and off the court, is so important. I'm realizing now as captain to kind of keep everyone engaged.
Okay. So. And Coach, how do you deal with your captains?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't ask for 3 better captains. I mean, they're invested in the team. They're invested in the players on the team. They're genuinely, kind, considerate, hardworking, just great people. So it's pretty easy. You know, they take care of all the inter-team relationships, and it's a great group, and the credit for that goes to them. You know, that they've already created great relationships with the younger players and brought them into the team and made them feel like they're a part of it. And I think, you know, when they say being part of something special, like, I think that's the special part. Yeah, winning's great, and we want to win a state championship, but the special part of being part of any team is the relationships you create. And you know, we've seen some of the alumni come back the last couple of days because they're home from school, and you know, it's great to see them come into our games, but it's also great to see the relationship that they still have with one another, and the relationship they have with these guys because they've played with them. You know, and those are relationships that are going to last forever, and that's what playing sports is all about. You know, and when it comes down to it, yeah, if you win a state championship, you're probably going to remember that, but other than that, what you're going to remember the most is the friends that you've made, the hard work that you put in, the lessons that you learned from being part of a team, and you know, all those lessons that carry into your other parts of your life, whether it be your school life or your professional life after. So
yeah, totally agree, particularly the older you get. Totally agree with that. All right, let's switch gears a little. So back to you, Coach. You talked a little about it, but just kind of give us a little flavor of the Tri-Valley this year.
Yeah, so the league's a little bit different this year. They're split into big and small. So there are 6 teams on the small side and 5 teams on the big side. Dedham's new to the league. They joined the small side, and actually Norwood's coming in next year and will be part of the big side. So, so the big side is us, Holliston, Hopkinton, Westwood, and Norton right now. We play each of those teams twice, although Norton's opted out of one of our games, so we're only going to play them once, and then we'll play everybody on the small side once, which allows us to go outside and play some more non-league games. And we're playing Walpole twice this year, we're playing Lincoln Sudbury twice this year, and we're heading down to Florida next week to play in a tournament in Orlando and play 3 games down there. So, you know, it's a goal of mine every year to play a competitive schedule. You know, and we talked a little bit earlier about the top teams in the Tri-Valley League are great, but there can be a discrepancy between some of the top teams and some of the teams at the bottom. And so it's important for us to go out and find some teams that are going to challenge us. And I don't mean that to sound, you know, that conceited or anything about our level of play, but I think for the girls and for us, we'd rather lose a game to a competitive opponent and learn some lessons from that than go out and win a game by 40 or 50 points where it doesn't do either team any good.
I totally agree, and I know we've talked in years past. I've always been a big advocate for going out and playing some tough competition, because at the end of the day in the tournament you're going to see those type of teams.
Right.
And so you got to get used to that different style of play, a little different type of pressure. And at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't really make a difference if you're, you know, 16-5 versus 20-0. Matter of fact, a couple of years ago it was either I forget what team came in at 16-5 or 15-6, and they won the whole division too, because they basically played Division I schedule.
Right.
Yeah.
And so those 6 losses were very deceiving, and they came in and they were ready.
Yep.
And they just beat up on everybody, and so, you know, versus coming in at 21-0, or but you didn't really play, you know, that quality of player. So totally agree. I think that's a great strategy. So so what do you guys do for fun activities with the team?
Well, we recently just had a team sleep. That was
That's
fun. I
always
mean,
a
it
fun
was kind of
activity.
spontaneous after. I mean, it was a tough loss we had on Friday against Mansfield, and I feel like we reacted kind of in a way like, it's okay, we're going to shrug this one off. Like, let's just be together for the night. And it ends up being fine. We went to practice the next morning. We worked hard, and like that week, you could see like we bonded over it, and we're learning from our mistakes.
And Emma hosted a program-wide dinner too, so we had all teams there, which I thought was great to welcome everybody to the program. And also, I think that, like Coach Nickerson said, the girls this year, we do have a young team, but I think this year's special because we don't have, not in past years there hasn't been drama, but this year's, this year's special.
No, I'm just kind of trying to wrap up. I'm going to go down the row on this one. So what's your proudest achievement so far at Medfield High School?
For basketball?
Anything.
Basketball. I think last year our state championship game, because my freshman year we played in the state championship game, and then getting back there last year, I think a lot of the team had been there before, so I think that was just an amazing day for the team and our program in general. I think another thing though is that it wasn't just because it was a state championship, but our season lasted so long last year, and we were so lucky to be with each other for that whole month of March. So I think that was probably my proudest achievement. Yeah, it was a great day.
How about you, Emma?
It's hard. I think state champions.
It could be anything else. It could be that I passed my statistics class. Was my greatest achievement. It could be anything.
I mean, the biggest, you can't forget about your state championship game. I mean, it's so clear in my mind, even though over the summer I'd be watching, the game again, just because it's just so fun. And I feel like there's still so much more left in the year for Maggie and me to have more achievements, especially with the basketball team. We have high expectations for this season, so there's definitely more to come. We're excited about it.
That's great. And Coach, what do you think? You've been at this for a while now.
Yeah, it might surprise you, but I think greatest accomplishment, or the thing that I look back most fondly on, was we lost in the state championship game, because it was the year after we graduated the best class of basketball players we've ever had, and we graduated 8 seniors that were just phenomenal basketball players, and everybody thought we were going to be an average team, and we ended up making all the way to the state finals, and unfortunately lost in the state championship game, but we beat a team in the Central Finals that had knocked us out the year before in an overtime game. They came back with the same team they had. We came back with a lesser team and beat them by 30 points. Yeah. So that was pretty proud moment for me. I was obviously proud of the girls and their believing in themselves and the way that they played, and those are always the best moments. When you accomplish the unexpected, there's nothing better. When you're expected to win and you win, not that big of a deal. But when you're expected to lose and you win, that's a good achievement.
So, okay, just one last question. So, now, since Coach Nickerson's been following your career, what do you think about his career so far? How many wins does this guy have? And where is he in the rankings? Oh, you can ask.
See,
I have no idea.
See, it's got to be a lot.
A lot. He definitely does. He definitely does.
I have no idea.
Exact number.
No, it's got to be a lot. I mean, he's had an unbelievable career. So, hats off to you. It's been, it's not that easy to keep it going all the time, and it sounds like you have an unbelievable foundation. And continue to grow it, and you continue to get kids to come on up through the system, and it's just it just feeds on itself.
The truth of the matter is, and I've been unbelievably fortunate with just incredible players, but also just great people. And when we talk about the feeder system, obviously youth basketball has done tremendous things for us, but we run our clinics and we get girls of every age who want to come to work with these guys. They don't know who I am, care who I am. They don't want to talk to me when they're there. They ask me to move out of the way. These are the superstars. They're excited to see these girls, or the girls that they come watch play, at our games, and it is because of these players that we continue to grow and develop as a program, and it's amazing. And amazing families that promote sports and provide opportunities for their kids.
Yeah, so totally agree. I've always told the kids is that, the younger kids look up to you. Yeah. So just remember that, and, because you are their stars right now. And so it's unbelievable that might seem to you, but it's absolutely right on. And you get their interest, and it just feeds the whole program. So anyways, I think we're running out of time. I want to thank Maggie, Emma, and Coach Nickerson coming along. Great success. We have a bunch of games we'll be doing, so we'll be following you during the season. So good luck. And this is Rich Small with Medfield Lady Warriors early season basketball show, not preseason. And thank you for watching.
Medfield TV.